Oh, hi you ducky loves, I'm back and today I'm going to show you how to make Black Forest Fudge. Now, if you've made any of my recipes before or if you have my recipe book, One Book of Fudge, then hopefully you would have already realised that my recipes are so simple. It's been purposely done that way because my demographic is from small children to adults. So I wanted everyone to be able to make it because there's lots of different ways you can make fudge. But because I make it in such high volume in my spare time, obviously because I work as well, all of my recipes will always be as simple as possible. So today's fudge, it's a condensed milk fudge, which is a posh way of saying it's a chocolate fudge, but also because the base of it is condensed milk. So I use a whole tin of condensed milk, and then I use 5 100-gram bars of milk chocolate. You can use whatever brand milk chocolate. I always use the supermarket's own brand because obviously I'm fundraising. So because all the profits I make are donated to local charities and causes, I'm always looking at the cost of the recipe. And chocolate has actually gone up a lot this past 3 years. It's actually gone up 50% nearly, which is a lot. But because I live next door to Morrison's, I tend to go for Morrison's. But I also love Aldi's, Asda, Tesco. They all make a really good fudge. So whatever you can get your hands on is fine. I always break it up a little bit, especially milk chocolate, because milk chocolate takes a while to melt. I always clean up after myself, make sure I recycle as well, as much as possible. And so that's the base of the fudge. So it's literally condensed milk, milk chocolate. Now, this is only going to go in for 1 minute at a time. I have an 800-watt microwave. If yours is higher wattage, you need to do it in 30 seconds increments because otherwise it will burn. And believe me, I know milk chocolate burns really easily. While that's melting, I'm going to get my tray ready. My recipes are all for 9-inch square tins, so you might know these as brownie tins, but I call them fudge tins and they are absolutely perfect. Just going to get a little plate out to rest the spoon on. Now I always use a wooden spoon. I think probably everyone does, but it's because the heat won't travel up it. Whereas if you use a metal spoon, it will. And it gets really hot, so use a wooden spoon. Now, with milk chocolate, it does take a while to melt. So you'll see, because it's only been in for 1 minute, the blocks are still big. They're not really melted yet, but what you must try and do is get that condensed milk covering it, because that condensed milk is already hot, so give it a helping hand by just giving it a slow stir and then put it back in for another minute. Now with a milk chocolate fudge, in my experience with my microwave, it takes 5 minutes in total to melt. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to measure out one of the main ingredients for the Black Forest Fudge. So these are cherries, so they've already had the pits removed, they're pitted and they're dried cherries. So I get mine from Amazon, they come in a bag, and what I do is, so the main ingredient for Black Forest is actually the liqueur called Kirsch, which is a German liqueur, and Black Forest Gatto originates from Germany, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. So what I do to give it that authentic Black Forest flavour, I soak the cherries in Kirsch for 2 days before I use them, minimum of 2 days, but you can see I've got the date on here. Again, because I make so much, that jar is full, and then I just dip into them when I need them. And I do that with all of my alcohol fudges. And the reason why I don't add the alcohol directly to the fudge is because it will burn off instantly from the heat of the fudge. The alcohol will evaporate. And also, it can cause troubles with the setting of the fudge having alcohol in it, because it ups the liquid content of the fudge. So I soak it into the fruit, so then when you get a piece of the fruit, you get a delicious surprise. So as you can see, it's starting to get a bit easier after 2 minutes, but it's still very clumpy. So let's put it back in for a 3rd minute and I'll get these measured out. This is a very, very popular fudge. Whenever it comes on my menu, I sell it by the bucket load. I got to a point at one stage where I was doing 25 flavours on my menu, which is a hell of a lot of flavours. But what I was finding was, it meant that I wasn't selling as many across the board because I was given too much choice. So now what I do is, I have a maximum of 12 flavours on at any one time, and it just makes it easier for me as well around work, because obviously I work as a practice manager as well. So remember, I'm only doing this in my spare time and I wasn't expecting to be doing it all these years later, but I'm very happy that I am, and I'm very happy that I've raised over £24,500 for local charities and causes. So yeah, it's a huge honour for me, which is why I keep doing it, and because I love doing it. Today is a day off, so I don't work Mondays and Fridays normally, because I dropped my hours a few years ago. And not to do this, I actually dropped my hours because I've trained as a hairdresser. And I was masterminding my way out of my current job, but then my circumstances in my job changed, and I got offered the practice manager's role whilst still studying. I'm going to put this back in for another minute, so this is the 4th minute. So yeah, I got offered practice manager's role because I was a nurse at the practice I'm at, and the current practice manager left, and because I had previous experience, I was asked to interview for the role. But because my hours were always on 3 days, I agreed to do it. But I was still aiming to leave. But then I enjoyed doing it, enjoyed the team, completed my level 2 training in hairdressing, went to study my level 3. The college was horrendous, people in my class. Some of them were lovely, but the majority of them, the behaviour was horrendous. So I decided, no. And then I got injured the following week on a fairground ride. And then the rest of the story is history, as you know. You probably know the story very well now. And that's how we ended up with one box of fudge. Literally posted a picture on Facebook. And here we are 3 years later, over 6,400 boxes of fudge sold. It's absolutely insane. That's the best thing that's ever happened to me in my whole life. So that chocolate, so that's been melting for 4 minutes now, that milk chocolate. As you can see, the stir is much easier. Got to make sure you scrape the bottom of that glass bowl though. Make sure that it really is all melting. Still needs 1 more minute. In my experience, 1 more minute. So I measured out 100 grams there. So in all of my recipes, I always use 100 grams of fruit because I've worked out that that works for the size of this tin perfectly with tweaking. And it's a bit like a dry bowl of Alpen when you get that raisin. It's like a little gift if you get one of these. The other secret ingredient I use is black cherry essence. Now this brand are called Galaxy, and this is a high strength natural flavouring of black cherry. With essences you need to be cautious because they can taste very synthetic, but because I've been doing this a long time, I've tried and tested different ones, and honestly I absolutely swear by this particular brand, and I get them off of Amazon. And I find all of their essences are really good. I use the pumpkin one, I use the blackberry one, I use the lime one. I think that's it. But they're all really good. This one I swear by. So now it's all melted. You pour your Kirsch soaked cherries in. And then I use 1 teaspoon of black cherry essence. Now the reason why I do this is because it really enhances the flavour. And also it enhances the experience of the fudge. What I mean by experience is when you open a box of this, you get the smell of the fudge. And if something smells a certain way, it also helps it taste a certain way. And that's another trick of the trade. If you get that smell right, honestly, I wish you had smell-o-vision on this one. Milk chocolate and cherry is a absolutely like classic combo with that black cherry essence in there and the Kirsch soaked cherries. You will be living your Black Forest Fudge fantasy. Look how smooth this is when I pour it. Oh my God. You will want to lick the spoon of this one. Not gonna, but you will want to. If Angie Pandy was here, he would be licking that spoon. Finished with a fudge swirl. And there you have it, Black Forest Fudge. So I'm gonna wait for it to cool, put it in the fridge, and then we'll come back to it in 2 hours time. Milk chocolate ones do set quicker in the fridge. So check it. I would check this one. If you've let it cool down, check it after an hour and see how firm it is. Because you can end up not fridge burning the fudge, but you don't want it to be rock hard. You want it to be chewy still. Well, I do. If you want it to be rock hard, leave it in for longer. But definitely for this one, a maximum of 2 hours. Okay, see you in a bit. Oh, hi, you ducky love. So it's 2 hours later and the Black Forest Fudge is now done. Sorry, I'm not used to filming landscape, so I never know where to look. So excuse me if my eyes are all over the show. But yeah, so now this is ready. It smells absolutely amazing. This is ready to chop up into 36 pieces and serve. Hope you enjoyed making it, darlings. And I'll see you next Friday at 8 for a new fudge making video.